afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. It's warming up out there. We are now in late May, and it's warming up in New England, and I have an awesome show today. We're going to San Diego, California for the first time ever. Topic Time Nation is conquering new turf all the time. Got an awesome guest out there. He's a musician. I guess he's done some film acting too. We're going to talk to him, but before that, we got to read these awesome underwriters. We got some new ones, and then we will commence per usual. So we got the Village Fine Wine and Spirits in Mattapoisett. They're a new one. We got Nick's Homemade Pizza in Mattapoisett. They're a new one. We got 508 Sneaker Store in Fairhaven. They're a new one. We got Pal's Driving School in Middleborough, setting up classes for August. Check the website for that. We got Mike's Restaurant Incorporated in Fairhaven. They're a new one. We got New England Floorscapes in Middleborough. We got Darkside Customs Tattoo and Body Piercing in Middleborough. Great to have them back. We have Crazy Axes Rec Center in Hanover. We have Big Lee's Automotive in Hanover. We have Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We have Good Old Dave's Automotive right up the road here on Route 58 in Hanson. We have Brian's Barbershop in Kingston. We have the Gunrunner LLC, the Second Amendment Freedom Store, specializing in customer service, pricing, and selection. We have the Auto Shop in Hanover with Master Mechanic Ed Rooney, the Gunrunners in Middleborough, like I said, and we have DNS Auto Works and Collision Specialists in Abington, right also up the road on Route 58. And I want to thank you guys very much. And now, Malshare, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you today?
You look like you're sitting there in an outdoor park of some kind. Is that a park? Or is that your backyard?
That's my backyard. I live out in the country.
Oh, good for you. I mean, you right in San Diego, or are you like out in one of the suburbs of San Diego?
I'm about an hour out in a place called Campo. It's a mountain community.
Okay, nice. Okay, that's not bad. That's beautiful. I wouldn't mind living, if I'm living out there. I've never been out there. We were actually, my brother was living in Oceanside in 1997, which is near there, I guess. And I visited him there, but we went to San Diego. Like I said, we landed there. And that's great. So you are you're a traveling man. You were in Minnesota when we set up this interview, and now you're back out there. I guess you were hanging with your granddaughter or something. I think that's what you said when I called you, right?
Yeah, I went out there. It was a father-daughter dance performance for her dance school, and her dad passed away. So I came in as the granddad, and we had fun. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Gee.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you did what you had. At least you did the due diligence, and that's awesome. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about you now. You're you reached out to me, I think. I get a lot of guests, so many guests now that are just contacting me on Facebook to do the show and texting me, and it's awesome. But tell me a little about yourself. Did you grow up out in San Diego, or where did you grow up? What did you aspire to? And how did it lead to what you're doing now? And if I have any questions pertaining to all of that stuff, I'll throw them in as we discuss it. So go ahead. And then we're gonna
my dad was a Navy officer, so we got transferred about every 2 years. So I was born in Norfolk. We went to Florida. Okay. I've lived in Texas and Oklahoma, and San Diego was kind of where we always came back to.
Okay.
And so that's kind of how I got in San Diego. I've left a couple times, but San Diego is one of those places you can leave, but you can't leave. You always come back to it. It's just a nice place. So
I'll get back to someday too. I liked it. But what did you do as a kid? Like, did you play music as a kid? Did you act? What did you do in like entertainment along those lines?
Well, we made Super 8 films when I was a kid. I had two friends, Joel and Nate. They were brothers and creative types, and we had our own little production company called Three Guys Production, and we made a series of Super 8 films. So we were always into movies and acting and all that stuff growing up. And about when I was 15, we moved out of San Diego to Norman, Oklahoma. My dad retired. Yep. And so I got into music out there and picked up the guitar around that time, and finished school. And as soon as I finished high school, I skedaddled right back out here to San Diego, and I've been here ever since. Huh. So about 18 is when I started living here, and I'm 63 now, so I've been here a long time.
Okay, you're a little younger than I am. That's cool. Well, tell me about that. First of all, that when you did those 8mm films with those two guys, how old were you then? Were you like in high school?
No, we were. I was in junior high, so I must have been about 13.
Wow. Okay.
And
they were the other kids were the same age, right? They were give or take.
Yeah, my friend, his one of the brothers was my best friend and same age, and then the older brother, he was probably about 3 or 4 years older,
Okay.
and so we picked up a Super 8 camera. We did a lot of Chinese kung fu movies. We'd go to the drive-in on Friday nights and come home on Saturday and make a Chinese kung fu movie.
Cool.
And I think we made probably 9 of them, 10 of them. We had Cinderfella. We had It Came from Beneath the Earth, San Diego Disconnection, um, Harry Fu in Your Pocket, a play
Okay.
off of the old Harry in Your Pocket pickpocket movie. So we had a good time, and that was back in the day when it was film. They didn't have digital yet,
Right.
and we'd make the movie and we'd walk it, 10 miles to the developing place and 10 miles
Wow.
back, and then we'd walk back to get it and come back. And in order to edit them back then, you actually had to look at each little frame and cut them and splice them with tape. And if you wanted ray guns on there, you had to scratch each frame. And then we did a lot of still photography. I had my own dark room. My brother's a professional photographer. He filmed for NFL films, and so I'd go
Wow.
with him a lot and learned a lot from him. And that's just what I was into as a kid. So I've always been around film, and then I got into acting after I finished college out here at San Diego State. I got my finance degree in '90
Okay.
and raising kids in a family, and got into the theater, did a number of plays and did a bunch of auditions for commercials. And I'm just recently, I got a very small role in a movie called Slaughterhouse 2. The
Okay.
original Slaughterhouse was made in 1987, and I met the producer and the director and played a small role. And they're going to end up using, I believe, 3 of my songs in the movie. So that should be hitting the theaters at the beginning of the year, I think.
The 2025?
Yeah, so they're still doing pickup shots and all that. It's a lot to produce a full length movie, and
Okay. I hope it's not. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm a vegan. I don't know if this is about actual slaughter, a real slaughterhouse, is it?
it's really it's an interesting film. The
Of course it
Pacific
is.
Crest Trail. It was filmed here in Campo,
Okay.
and the premise is they kill the Pacific Crest Trail hikers, and then they mix their flesh in with beef, and they sell it as Wonder Jerky in the
Oh,
stores.
man.
It's pretty. It's a cut 'em up movie, but it's the acting. It's okay, but it is what it is.
It
It's
is
a
what
B
it is. I
film,
know.
and
I know. Now, aside from having your music in it, are you in it as well? Are you acting in
yeah,
it at all? You are.
just
Okay.
a. I got a small role, and the director and the producer. I got late to them. By the time they got my emails and saw my audition stuff I sent them, they were like, "Man, I wish we would have known about you 2 or 3 weeks before, because we could have given you a major role in the film." So I kind of missed out on it, but they threw me a small part. I'm Lance the cowboy, just in one little scene, and I did the best I could. And there's no such thing as small parts, only small actors, as
That's right. Even small actors can
Stanislavski.
go a long way. If,
Right. Stanislavski said that out of the Moscow Art Theater. So,
okay. Well, tell me about, so what happened to those two friends of yours when you moved out to Oklahoma? Did you ever reconnect with them? Did they keep doing movies?
yeah,
Oh,
we stayed connected our whole life. In
oh,
fact,
yeah.
the younger brother passed away in
Oh,
2022,
okay.
and the older brother still lives in Alabama, and we still talk, and we keep our humor up,
Yeah, of course.
and everything we do is all about being funny. We had our own brand of humor called Mel, Nate, Jolian humor. Mel, Nate, and
Okay.
Joel. So
All right. Well, with that note, we're about halfway through the show, and we're going to watch a little music video of Mel's, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. And so keep watching, and we'll be right back.
There's an old roadhouse on Highway 80. Looking for a good time, they're always ready. You'll always find a friend who is willing and ready to dance all night. The bands are hot, they keep the dance floor swinging. Girl behind the bar know exactly what you're drinking. step, country swinging all night long. You'll find me there on a Saturday night. Dance floors rocking, everything's alright. Everyone's partying like it's 1999. Two white horses and a pretty little lady. She's always glad to see you walk through a roadhouse doors. Down at the Renegade. Yeah, down at the Renegade. Barbed wires ripping, Trappers on the bar. Old southbound Johnny's that plays old guitar. Old Whiskey Ridge and the Honky Tonk Kings rocking the house all night long. You'll find me there on a Saturday night. The dance floor's hopping, everything's alright. Everybody's partying like it's 1999. Two white horses and a pretty little lady. She's always glad to see you walk through a roadhouse doors. Yeah, down at the Renegade. Yeah, down at the Renegade. Crowd floods in, all excited. Handshakes, hugs, great big smiles. One big old happy family. Lisa's calling out the dancing cow. Old Chuck's there working it out. Cameras flashing everywhere all night long. Yeah, down at the Renegade. Come on down to the Renegade. We'll see you at the Renegade.
Oh, Mel, that was great. What did we just watch? Tell me what we just watched.
We watched the Renegade, the song
Okay.
The Renegade. And The Renegade was actually nominated this year at the San Diego Music Awards for Best Country Americana Song. And it's about a club out here called The Renegade, and I'm in a country cover band, and it's one of the big clubs we play. It's one of the last remaining roadhouses out here in San Diego County.
Okay.
And so I just wrote it, and I think I caught the vibe in the song. And so that's what that song's all about.
Wow. Okay. Very nice. Okay. So right now at this time of your life, you're still doing music and you're still doing acting as well. Is that right? I guess you are if you got that little role in Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, acting is it's a real passion. I love it.
Yeah.
I understand the process. I learned how to do it by getting roles in theater. And the good thing, my granddaughter not only is in dance, but she's taken an interest in acting. So I'm going to be kind of coaching her to get her up to speed. And
She the one in Minnesota that you were just visiting?
yes,
Okay,
her name.
you really do a lot of traveling for your stuff. That's incredible.
Uh,
When most people
I
go
haven't.
and when most people go in an hour, you go and you get. I mean, most people will go, maybe we'll drive drive 40 miles to a project. You'll just go across the country. You don't think nothing of it. That's incredible.
I love traveling in America. I
Yeah.
love the little 2-lane highways that are all over. Because when you get on those and you get into some of these little small towns like down in
Yeah,
Texas and
yeah.
stuff, and get
Getting your kicks on Route 66, I guess, right?
yeah.
Even though you may not
People.
have actually been on Route 66.
No, I've been on 66
Oh,
quite a few times, and I've been to Nashville. I've recorded in Nashville, and I've got contacts back there. In fact, maybe next year I'm probably going to take 3 of my songs and go back and record with a guy named Kent Wells. It's Dolly Parton's producer, and a guy named Dave Fowler, and they've invited me back, and so I'm going to do it for fun, see how the boys back in Nashville record and how they approach music and stuff. So, but I like traveling around. I certainly do.
so you travel. Do you have like a trailer or an RV or something, or do you drive? Did you drive from Minnesota to back to San Diego, and have you been? And when you go to Oklahoma,
No,
you drive out there too?
no, I flew. I love to drive, but this time around I had to get there and get back, and
Yeah, right.
it's super cheap to fly. If you know you're going a month in advance, couple $100 get you there and back, and
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I don't take much. I take a little bag. My daughter, she takes care of everything. This time
Okay.
around, I took my bass and stayed up on some stuff. I'm writing some songs right now for a new album, so I had to keep my chops up.
Of course. Speaking of writing, have you ever written any film scripts too, aside from just doing acting?
No, I never got into writing film scripts, although I was on a production out here on a webcast called Beyond Bullets, and I was helping uh, the script writer, score out the script and making sure that everything was spelled right and everything before they gave it out to the actors. So I've been that far into it, but I've never actually sat down and write a script. All my songs are kind of little scripts. I write
Right.
stories.
Yeah, oh, you write
And
stories. Okay. And have you ever been, have you a published author as well? Or will you ever
no,
be? No, okay.
I
But
would like to write a book one of these days.
you should. I mean, boy, you got quite an enriched life, it sounds like, from what you've been telling me here.
Yeah, I don't know what I would write on. But one of these days I'll get an inkling and sit down and do it.
how old is your granddaughter that's into acting? Is she an adult or is she still a kid?
No, she's 10 years old,
Oh, 10. Okay. All
and
right. What about,
she's a fabulous dancer. Full of grace, and she's got good musicality. She's able to
yeah.
hit the beats, and just watching her, that someday she's going to be very, very, very good. So
Oh, that's great. Okay. What about you? Now, anyone else in your family involved in music and acting as well?
my oldest son is a lead singer in a band out here. They do dance songs. They play a lot of the big clubs out here for the younger people.
Okay.
And Coriander is their name. And then he's got an original project. They are called Viscous, is what they call
Okay.
themselves. Real good band.
Okay. How many in the band?
There's four in the band, and
Okay.
he sings, and then they got guitar, bass, and drums, and they're real good because there's a lot of space in the music, and the play is real good, so it's not just loud and everybody's on top of each other. So I really like them.
That's awesome. Okay. So you got your sons in a band, and you got yourself in a band too, and you're still doing acting. What project what is the most current project you're working on in both acting and music projects?
Nothing in acting, but music. I'm planning on putting another album out this year. I'm going to call it West of Nashville, and the whole
Okay.
premise of the album, the title track will be West of Nashville. Is I'm it's kind of too late for me. Nashville's a 10-year town, and I don't have that kind of time to go back and dedicate it to it. Being 63, there's a lot less road ahead than behind. Yeah, but I can still do out here in San Diego, west of Nashville, everything I could do back there. I can write and record and perform, and so um, I don't have to go live there and get involved with all that. If I was younger, I probably would, because I've been there 5 or 6 times, and it's a fun, exciting place.
Oh, I know. I've done a lot of interviews to there. I've got a lot of very talented people that have done my show for via Zoom, just like we're doing it now. So what about have you done any acting and have you done any films in Hollywood too, or just I mean, where have you done films as well?
No, the closest I ever got to breaking into the music business, I did a audition for an Outback Steakhouse commercial out here, and
Okay.
it came down to the last three, and the client got me off to the side, and she said, "I really like you, but you're just a little bit too old for what we're looking for." So, that could have been the shoe in. I was doing a lot of auditioning. Usually, a national commercial like that, you get a lot of exposure, and a lot
Absolutely.
of times
You
a
don't give up
producer
though. I
will
mean,
go,
there's still plenty of opportunity. I mean, well, have you ever done any other commercials before or have you ever done anything on TV as well as the films?
"Nope, never." I really was trying to get into it, and really, what kind of made me stop and uh, smell the roses was I was spending so much time away from my four kids and my wife in the theater, and then auditioning, and time goes fast, and
Oh,
you
it
hear all
does.
these stories of kids hating their parents because they were never there. And I just didn't want to be one of those parents, and so I kind of put the nix on it and started staying home. But the theater is where I would be if I ever got back into it. I love the throughfare of it. You know, with cameras, you cut, you stop, you can do it again and again and again until the director gets what he wants. But in theater, it's a straight
You
run
can't blow it.
through.
I know, you gotta do it right the first time.
And I believe, this is my personal opinion, I believe that if you're out of the theater, you're a better actor. Mel Gibson is a theater guy, and he's a great actor. But the techniques are different. You know, theater is very big. You got to speak to the back of the house, and in film, the camera's right in your face, so you're more subtle. So it's a different technique.
That's true. You're doing theater, you got people sitting in the audience, you know, probably 40, 50 feet away or further, and you have to reach out to them, and you gotta kind of like draw them in. I know that because I've done theater too.
Yeah, and everything's big. You're loud, but
Depending on what size the theater is too, I suppose.
Yeah, you know, from an actor's perspective, you're very loud and you're projecting, but from an audience, it just looks normal because they're watching it from a distance. So,
okay. Well, guess what? Well, we're into the final 5 minutes of the show. I hope you had fun talking to me.
yeah.
All right. So here's what I want you to do. In the remainder, well, first of all, is there anything coming up on the horizon in the near future for you that you want to mention that you might have overlooked? Because I want to make sure we cover everything. And if not, that's fine. But I'm just double checking. I do this with everybody that I interview.
No, I think we covered everything that I'm doing right now. I am in a country cover band, and we're a working country band. We do covers, and we're actually writing an album as well. We've got 3 originals written. Yeah, what we want to do is get in a position when national acts come through, we can get out there and open with our own music, and we won't have to do cover stuff. And that's called the Lefty Martin and His Right Hand Band.
Okay.
So
yeah,
we're busy.
That's your band right now. How many in that band with you, and how many other people?
There are 5 of us,
Okay.
and we it's kind of funny. We got 6 shows this weekend.
Wow.
2 of them are back to back. Yeah, we're gonna be busy this weekend, but we all love it, and
I'm
we're
lucky I caught
excited.
you when I did. That's
We're gonna
amazing.
be tired. We'll be tired.
Okay.
But-
Well, if you had a good time with me, what I want you to do is you have my number now. Give it to anybody that you think might be a great guest on my show. We can get them on
Okay.
either by Zoom or in person. Even members of your family. Even if your 10-year-old granddaughter wants to be on my show, she can by Zoom or because I've had, you know, my age range of guest is 80 years. My youngest was 5. My oldest was 85. I mean, I know
Yeah,
she's
sure.
young now, but that's not a problem. I mean, you know, like I said, I mean, topic time encompasses a lot of stuff, and that's it. So you did a great job. We're gonna, you know, we'll be probably editing the show next week, and it'll be up, and it'll be incredible.
Okay.
Okay, so there's that, and then one last favor to ask. We're just about to wrap the show up. Will you stick around, and my tech guy will do a pic from Facebook, and I'll tag you in it for both of us. And this
Okay.
we're doing now that we're sharing. Are you good for that?
Okay.
You are, right?
I'm
All right,
good.
great.
I'm good.
All right, Mel, you did a great job. We're going to wrap the show up now, folks. See you next week with another great guest. Signing off and rolling out.
Thank you.
Thank you.